It's time for some training, and I'm not talking about boot camp, what the National Guard is doing to prepare against a legitimate threat. Coming up next. Mask mandates are going away as COVID cases appear to be rising. Medical professionals are trying to make sense of it, and the local community is following their lead. For CMM 459 News in Plattsburgh, I'm Michael DeMarco.
Second COVID boosters are beginning to be administered locally. I have more on the story.
Despite the dangerous weather conditions that the winter months may bring, there are still precautions that you can take to make sure you remain safe on the roads. As winter rolls along, make sure that you stay safe while driving. For CMM 459 News in Plattsburgh, I'm Michael DeMarco.
Coming up, a peek at what's in store for SUNY Plattsburgh, a second round of boosters for the vaccine, and a look at your local Cardinal sports. All this and more as CMM 459 News starts right now.
The message from students involved in Greek life is simple. Showcase the good stuff they do too, not just the bad. For CMM 459 News in Plattsburgh, I'm Michael DeMarco. As the fallout from the Brooklyn subway mass shooting continues, local college students from New York City expressed their reactions to the incident and their concerns about using public transportation back home. CMM 459's Benny Nazai reports. The school mask mandate will remain in place until vaccination rates increase among young students. As for kids rolling up their sleeves, that's up for the parents to decide. For CMM 459 News in Plattsburgh, I'm Michael DeMarco. The Plattsburgh men's baseball team took on Oswego. Let's take a look at some highlights. The Plattsburgh State men's basketball team took on SUNY Geneseo at home. Let's take a look at what happened. Plattsburgh State University recently announced their new masking policy. Some students are upset with the administrator's decision.
We have Cortland and Buffalo, who are two of the top SUNYs in the system, with some of the highest, amounts of students throughout the state, and they're completely done with it.
Bigger schools like UB and Cortland, and schools like Oneonta that might not have a mask mandate anymore, but yet we still do when we really don't even have nearly the number of students.
The students question why bigger schools have removed the mask mandate entirely, while at Plattsburgh, they are still being required to wear masks in classrooms.
We did relatively well keeping our COVID numbers down. So you would think that we would have gotten rewarded in that sense by, getting rid of this mask mandate, but the officials just haven't really had our side on that.
85% of students voted in favor of no masks through a survey the school put out, but the school still did not lift the mandate.
Why even have the vote? Why should we even been involved?
Students also question the lack of consistency.
The local health boards are going to tell us that it's fine to go out in public and not wear a mask, then why should we still need them on school property? It doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, I can't wear here, not here. Like, all right, just make up one decision and stick with that. Like, either just have the mask or whatever, or just don't.
There is hope the next policy change will not only lift mask wearing, but also lift the spirits across campus.
The ability to go to class and actually be able to look each other in the eyes and see each other's faces again. I feel like it's something that we've all been missing a lot lately, and it'll go a long way in boosting not only everyone's spirits around here, but really just boosting the entire campus community as a whole.
Some Plattsburgh State students are currently unhappy with the mask regulations the school has set in place. However, there is still hope the regulations can change in the near future. For CMM 459 News in Plattsburgh, I'm Michael DeMarco. 2 years in, some people don't know what to expect next in the pandemic. To seek answers for this upcoming summer, a local health department representative takes a glance at what happened last year.
They were below 50, but we certainly were seeing more for most of the summer. We were reporting one or two, maybe a handful of new cases each day, just a handful of active cases going on at a time. We had some stretches where we were not reporting any new cases.
Mask mandates are going away rapidly across the nation, even in mass transportation. However, the numbers are going in an unexpected direction.
We started seeing our numbers go back up. They didn't ever reach or come, exceptionally close to what our peak was.
Despite COVID-19 cases increasing, they are not peaking. Health professionals would still like to see the numbers go down.
Right now, with our numbers in the area, It's still obviously quite a bit higher than we would like it to be.
Ideally, local health departments have a perfect range of cases in mind.
We would like to be below 50. Realistically, 0 is the perfect place to be.
Data shows COVID-19 is transmitted much easier during colder months.
We know, based on the history and transmission of COVID-19, that being in indoor crowded spaces with poor ventilation is one of the most likely places to contract COVID-19.
With the weather getting warmer, a health professional gives her advice.
Parties, gatherings, their socializations are happening in an outdoor setting because the weather is so nice, less of a chance of a COVID spread.
Mask mandates are going away as COVID cases appear to be rising. Medical professionals are trying to make sense of it, and the local community is following their lead. For CMM 459 News in Plattsburgh, I'm Michael DeMarco.